I am of a high spiritual vibrational polarity. I'm not worried about evil, but I've given you in my on my site, I've given you the Ten Commandments to read because that is what the curse is about, the Ten Commandments. So you need to understand the Ten Commandments. Also, and that is the Ten Commandments is in Exodus, and I've got that, and I put up a post about that. I think it's Exodus 20, verse. No, Exodus 20, verse 3. I think that's the Ten Commandments. You can look it up. But then I've also given you Deuteronomy 28 so that you can understand the curse. I also have given you Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9 to understand where the synagogue of Satan is at and the people that you should be careful, cautious of. Don't trust them. The word anti-Semitism is a mask they use to hide behind. God is punishing them and has been punishing them because they lead the world in skin cancer. Israelis lead the world in skin cancer. That's a message there. Kind of reminds you of the movie. Have you seen the movies with the ghouls and things in it? And how they can't come out in the sunlight? It's best that they come out at night for fear of being what? Burnt by the sun. That's a message. That's a message. So I suggest that you read the chapters that I've told you, review my post for understanding. And like I said, in my post, I tell you to think for yourself. Remember that. I tell you, don't believe me. Think for yourself. See, anyone that you can't trust is going to tell you, believe what I say, ignore what I do. Believe what I say, ignore what I do. I'm telling you, think for yourself. Listen to what I say. Think for yourself. People who tell you to believe what I say, they want to trap you in that fence. That's what religions do. They trap you in a fence. And you walk into that fence and they will close the gate behind you. But you know, when people make mistakes, they hate admitting when they're wrong. So some people will stay within that environment just to feel right. They have a fear of being wrong. Don't have a fear of being wrong because there's no such thing as being wrong. There is being ignorant. And when you're ignorant and you recognize it, then you achieve. You try curiosity. You learn. See, ignorance is not a sin. Going against God's will is a sin. When you know you are sinning and you do it anyway, that's stupidity. But when you don't know any better, that's ignorance. Now don't try to give yourself an excuse for doing the wrong thing and say, oh, I was ignorant. Don't fool yourself. Think for yourself, don't fool yourself. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. But we are in a spiritual war. And to save yourself, you're going to have to follow the Ten Commandments. Now, one thing I want you to remember, don't listen to anyone that is rich. They have sold their souls to the devil, and the Bible warns you about them. God tells you a rich man has as much chance of getting into heaven as a camel going through the eye of a needle. It's in the Bible. I believe it's in there in 2 places. Protect yourself. Kyrie, I made a post about it. He didn't fight back. He took a stand. But in the end, he surrendered and did everything they asked him to. I think that he may end up regretting that. I don't know. That IUIC church, I think I heard a post where he was saying that some rich people are cool and some aren't if they're giving money to charity or something like that. Well, I've recently heard with Kyrie, he gave away what, about $65,000 to one cause, 60-something thousand to another cause or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but when you talk about a guy that's pulling in, I don't know, after taxes, I don't know, 15, 20 million dollars. I don't know what he's pulling in, what kind of shelters he has. That's chump change. That's chump change. So I don't know if he sold his soul to the devil or not. I don't know if this IUIC is what they're supposed to be. Personally, I'm not into groups. I think that we should all think for ourselves. I think that where you see and you recognize truth and the good, adopt it. Adopt it. Where you do not see it, reject it. But remember one thing, you don't have to join any group to be who you are. It's easier to be who you are if you are not in a group. That is spirituality. That is spirituality. And when you're not in a group, there's no one to judge you or to put you down. It's a conversation with your inner self. When you are alone and you're not involved in any group, your conversations, spiritual conversations, will be with your inner self. And you are free to approve and to reject those things that you are uncomfortable with and those things that you are comfortable with. I'm going to leave here because I'm not so much that I'm rambling, but there is a flow of thought. And the main thing I want you to understand is that think for yourself. Think for yourself. That's the key. And follow the 10 commandments. Follow the 10 commandments. Don't be persuaded away from the 10 commandments. What you read in the Bible, interpret it for yourself. What you read in the Bible, interpret it for yourself because you are your salvation. Have a good one. God bless us all. We're in the middle of a spiritual war. Stand tough. Listen to your intuition. Have a great day.